So I wanted to talk about the upcoming Isshiki fight that is going to be happening in the Boruto anime. Now, this is probably by far one of the best fights that you're probably going to see in the entire show. I think personally that this is the top 2 fights that happens in the show, and I'm just going to be talking about sort of my expectations for the fight, things that are leading up to the fight, and things of that nature. Alright, so as far as expectations for this fight, I kind of think that this is going to be maybe around 2 episodes, because in the manga, the Isshiki versus Kashin Koji fight is roughly around, I think, 2 or 3 manga chapters, so it's a decently long fight, not as short as like the Jigen versus Naruto and Sasuke fight, but it's a little bit longer than that fight because we get some pretty insane reveals regarding like Kashin Koji, and we kind of learn some more about like Ishiki's powers and things like that. So it is a very interesting fight in that regard. So they kind of like expanded a little bit. It's like 2 to 3 chapters, but I kind of expect this episode to be like 2 episodes or whatnot. As far as like quality goes, I want to say it's gonna have at least good quality, like a 7, all right, for that first episode. And then once we get towards the end where Kashin Koji kind of reveals his trump card, then I think it's going to be around the 9 or 10. So that's kind of where my expectations kind of fall within that. But you know, within this fight, this Kashin Koji versus Isshiki fight, we get things like Sage Mode, his identity, which is revealed, and things like finally seeing Isshiki for the first time. So I expect the first time we actually get to see Isshiki pop up is going to be animated pretty nicely, and that should be, I think, roughly around like the end of the episode. But kind of some things are going to happen before this, I think, that will sort of build up on this fight a little bit. I've kind of already read some of the titles for upcoming chapters, and I'm not sure when I'm dropping this video, but I think some of the titles were regarding like people chasing Kashin Koji, or like his scent was in the village and they're trying to track down who was where, but something along those lines with like Kakashi and Kashin Koji, something like that. And I know that's going to be happening because the Boruto anime is kind of moving fast, so I guess they're going to start adding some episodes here and there to kind of give it some buffer. But I'm kind of expecting to have some more like Isshiki filler on top of the Kashin Koji filler that I'm kind of already expecting to happen, and more so just expanding on Ishiki's character, giving us more details about his, you know, background, you know, what happened with Kaguya, things like that, because they kind of go really in depth and talk about, you know, like why is Isshiki here on Earth, what's his goals, what are his plans. The model kind of breaks it down, but I want them to go a little bit more in depth and sort of explain, you know, even like maybe where he is in like the hierarchies, anybody else that we should be worried about, things like that. Sort of build up on Ishiki's character and just give us some more character development for him. But yeah, as far as that, you know, as expected, definitely expect some, you know, Isshiki expansion, sort of expand on his story. If they're gonna do filler for this fight, I want to know how like Isshiki and Jigen's body was able to, you know, meet Amato, because that's one of my biggest questions, is how did Isshiki in Jigen's body somehow find Amato, this crazy scientist, in order to help him? So I think that will definitely need to be revealed, and sort of like the birth of Kara needs to be revealed, you know, like how did this organization originally start? As far as, you know, some more expectations for the fight, you're gonna see a lot of things in this fight to where it's more strategy than anything. You know, Kashin Koji being who he is, it's like we get to see, you know, that old school sort of shinobi type thing, you know, where Kashin Koji is using techniques that the karma can't actually beat, and it's very cool and very exciting to see. He has these like flames and they kind of counteract the karma. I think this fight is definitely probably one of the best ones that will come out, you know, before the time skip, you know, minus like the later fights with, you know, Isshiki and Naruto and everything like that, but this is definitely like top 3, and you know, it's not going to disappoint. And you know, during this fight also is when Amato, I think, sort of defects to the Leaf Village, so definitely expect some more expansion in terms of like what Amato is saying. A situation like this where Amato is giving us so much information, they have to expand sort of like more on that. I think that's where the Isshiki filler kind of comes in and sort of fills in those gaps and sort of makes sense of these whole things. And yeah, so you know, in terms of that, you know, Amato giving us information or whatever, then definitely going to be expanded there. But yeah, that's kind of what, you know, the fight should be looking like. Hopefully this video doesn't come out before these spoilers do, but yeah, that's kind of my expectations for the fight. What are your expectations regarding like the filler, fight quality, things like that? But anyways, hope you guys did enjoy. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.
So, say